Doctor, I need to question Countess Andreni.
I'm afraid that won't be possible, Mr. Poirot. The Countess had an anxiety attack when we arrived in Venice. She was terrified the police would come for her and her husband, despite how you concluded your investigation. I had to give her a sedative. She has been sleeping since.
You have stayed with her all the time we were in Venice?
Count Andreni begged me to watch over her. I have not left this room.
You're the reason she's in this state.
Book voted to absolve you all. I accepted his verdict.
I told her. I tried to reason with her. What she has already suffered, the strain of these last few days, it was too much.
I understand, Count. It's quite all right. I have the answers I came for. Ah, Michel, I have a few more questions to ask you, if you will allow me.
Anything, Monsieur Poirot. We are in your debt.
Please tell me your movements when we were stopped at Venice Station.
Once the compartments were cleaned and the linen refreshed, I stayed in my quarters.
Did you notice anything special? Comings and goings?
Monsieur Bouc had asked everyone to stay in their compartments. I would occasionally walk the train to ensure everyone was comfortable. Oh, I saw Monsieur Maury was all alone loading his crates of provisions. A great chef like that, reduced to petty labor, I would have helped him. But Monsieur Bouc had ordered me not to leave the train for any reason. So, Monsieur Maury was forced to labor alone.
Let us review the actual timeline of the night of Ratchet's murder, not the one manufactured to hide your crime.
I left the train in Minkowski for a smoke. Then I resumed my post. That was the truth. The train departed on schedule. But then, of course, an avalanche of snow blocked the tracks. At 12:45, Madame Hubbard and I met in her compartment to discuss how to adapt our plan.
Due to the snow and Poirot.
The little play we had staged for you had to be rewritten. I left her compartment at approximately 1:15.
Then the curtain went up. Calls in the night, the red kimono, all for my benefit.
And all for nothing, as it turned out.
Do not blame yourself, Michel. I am the theater critic no playwright wants to see in the audience. You play well. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. Many years of piano lessons thanks to my mother. I try to play in a few clubs in Paris when I get the chance, but as you can see, it hasn't made me rich. What can I do for you?
Conversation only. Tell me about your time in Venice.
I had Monsieur Bouc's permission to see my sister. She lives in Marghera, just outside of Venice. She had a baby a few weeks ago. This was my first chance to meet my new nephew.
Monsieur Bouc gave you permission?
Yes, you can ask him.
Most assuredly, I will. What time did you leave and when did you return?
I left around 9:10 p.m. I was back by 10:45 p.m. When I got back, Hotaru was in a lot of pain. I gave him a back massage.
That would have been enough time to kill Monsieur Wadi and return to the train. May I see your knives?
Of course, they are here.
If you don't mind.
Help yourself. They are under the bar counter.
Tell me again about your poker game the night of the murder.
It's a regular game to help relax after a long day. Let's see, we started around 11 p.m. We took a short break in Minkowski, Hotaru, Pierre, and I. The game finished up around 2 a.m. We'd all had quite a bit to drink. Ah, yes, I left for about 10 minutes to refrigerate champagne for the next day. That must have been around 1 a.m.
None of these come close to the wounds on either body. You told Fauché he could go into Venice?
Marghera, actually. Not so far away. It was his only chance to see his sister. He's been working every train for weeks. There is never time to see the new baby.
Enough, Book. Your heart does you credit, but your common sense, it...
I know. But it's fine. Isn't it? He did come back.
Oh, it's fine, as you say. Unless he saw the baby, then killed someone else and returned to the train.
But that's monstrous.
Murder is always monstrous, my friend. Good evening, Monsieur Maury. May I have a moment of your time? I have a few questions to ask you.
Of course, as long as you don't mind if dinner is ruined.
I promise to be as brief as possible. What did you do while we were stopped in Venice?
With Freya's help, I loaded fresh produce for the next part of our journey. Then, you may not believe this, but my job requires a lot of physical labor. My back suffers. Fortunately, Jean has become quite adept at separating my vertebrae.
As you may know, I have solved the murder of Monsieur Ratchet.
That is a shame.
I beg your pardon?
The bastard sent my steak tartar back, telling John I was to burn it.
I will add it to the list of his crimes. One wound on Monsieur Ratchet's body was struck by a very sharp, thin-bladed knife. We haven't found it yet.
You think one of mine was used?
I'd like to have a look, if you don't mind.
In that drawer.
An impressive set of knives, but their blades are too wide to have been used for the crime. Tell me about your poker game the night of the murder.
We started around 11 p.m. When John finished his shift. We played until around 2 a.m. From what I remember, it's a bit vague.
You played without a break.
Actually, we did break once for a smoke. John, Pierre, and I. When we stopped in Vinkovsky.
When was that?
Around midnight?
Saffron. It must be worth a small fortune. The box is secured by some sort of locking mechanism. The design is formed by 3 commas. What is the word in Japanese? Tamoe. And it's obviously missing a piece. A black feather. That reminds me of something. Good evening, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Mr. Poirot. I'm not going to bed right away.
Can you tell me your movements while we were stopped in Venice?
That'll be easy. I didn't move much at all. Let's see. I helped Hataru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hataru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Dr. Constantine found a stab wound on Ratchet's body that was caused by a much thinner and sharper blade than the others.
Possibly a chef's knife?
My thought precisely.
And you'd like to see my knives?
If you wouldn't mind.
I would gladly show you if I had any, but I don't. I use the regular kitchen knives. You may search if you don't believe me.
I see.
All the knives the staff use are in the kitchen or in the lounge, except...
Except
Hotaru prefers to use his own.
Monsieur Mori doesn't use the kitchen knives.
Not usually. I know he keeps a set of traditional Japanese knives in a box in his room. He doesn't let anyone else use them. Although now that I think of it, he has been using the kitchen knives lately.
Can you tell me exactly about your poker game the night of the murder?
We started around 11 p.m. In Vinkovsky, we took a short break. Hotaru and Pierre went outside to smoke. Oh, and Hotaru got sick around a few minutes past 1 a.m. 1:10 a.m., maybe? He spent about 15 minutes in the bathroom, but he didn't want to quit on a losing streak.
Did his luck improve?
No, so we played to around 2 a.m. He lost every hand.
I've talked to everyone, but some elements of the testimonies do not seem to correspond. I need to recheck a few things. I must admit I'm not right this time. No, not good. I do not think that's the right answer. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. I do not think that's the right answer. I must admit I'm not right this time. No, not good. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I must admit I'm not right this time. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. No, not good. Any of the three staff members had the opportunity to kill Ratchet when Monsieur Michel wasn't watching the hallway. That was easy. It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side. It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side. It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side. An object that looks like a broken comma. It must be part of something else. Colteria Venezia. Sushi knives, razor sharp. Sushi knives, razor sharp. Sushi knives, razor sharp. Sushi knives, razor sharp. I'm sorry, Monsieur Mori, but haven't you forgotten something? You haven't told me about the knives hidden in your room.
Ha! Yes, indeed. I forgot to tell you about those. They are my personal knives. I only use these knives. There are none better. I bought them all in Japan. No one is allowed to touch them except me.
What evidence can help me prove he's lying? I'm afraid you are better at sushi than lying.
What? What do you mean?
One of the knives has an inscription, Coltelleria Venezia. Did you happen to go shopping tonight, monsieur?
Damn you, Poirot. Very well. One of my sushi knives has been missing since the night of the murder. I thought you were going to believe I killed Ratchet. He routinely sent back my dishes to be ruined. Why does God give rich people the money to afford the best cuisine, but not the palate to appreciate it? I panicked. I know a very good store in Venice. I went to buy a knife to replace the one that had gone missing, so I wouldn't be accused. I assure you that I had nothing to do with any murders.
I would have an easier time believing you, monsieur, if you put that knife down.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
What time did you leave on your little shopping trip?
I left around 9:30 p.m. I was back a little after 11:15 p.m.
Time enough to stab Monsieur Wadi and return. Very well, Monsieur Mori. That's all for now. If I have another question...
I'll be right here, cooking.
Remind me of what you did when the train stopped in Venice.
No problem. I helped Hotaru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hotaru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier, without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Mademoiselle, I believe you're hiding the truth from me.
What makes you say that?
Michel saw Monsieur Mori carrying the crates of food alone. You weren't on the platform.
I did help Hotaru.
The entire time? He carried so many crates, his back was sore.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm guilty. I did leave him before we were finished. But I had to. There was no saffron he needed for a recipe. I volunteered to go into Venice and get him some. The Rialto market would be open late because of the carnival. He gave me money. I knew we weren't supposed to leave the train, but I only wanted to help. Mr. Mori can confirm this. Ask him. I saved dinner.
On behalf of my palate, I thank you. How long were you gone?
I left at 9:10 p.m. and was back with the saffron around 11. That's when I called my supplier for the items I was missing.
Miss Nielsen had almost 2 hours to buy the saffron, find a costume, kill Monsieur Wadi, elude Detective Locke, and make it back to the train for that phone call. Yes, it's possible that was enough time. Thank you, Mademoiselle Nielsen. That is all for now.
Sorry again, Mr. Poirot. I hope you enjoy tonight's dessert.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. I do not think that's the right answer. I must admit I'm not right this time. No, not good. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
What have you been doing, Poirot? I am completely in the dark.
I will shine some light on the situation, my friend. I have 3 new suspects who could have killed Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi. Miss Nielsen, Monsieur Fauché, and Monsieur Mori. They all had periods of time during both murders to commit the deed, and their alibis are weak. A visit to family, and not 1, but 2 shopping trips.
But all are my employees.
Alas, yes, my dear book. But we have no proof against any of them. None of the three appears to have any motive whatsoever.
But this is a tragedy!
Do not give up hope. We will catch this murderer. There is still one place that may hold the evidence we need.
Geneva.
Exact.
Do not give up hope? Well, that's easy for you to say. But what if it's Freya? What becomes of dessert? If it's Sotaru, who will cook? Me? And the worst, if it's Jean, who will serve the drinks?
I've been checking up on the Banque du Lac. I had to confirm my identity for Interpol, so they contacted my captain at the Berkshire Police.
I suspect he was not pleased.
That my vacation was actually an unofficial investigation? I'll say.
I would be happy to speak to him on your behalf.
Thank you, but he'll get over it. It's a chance to close the books on the Armstrong kidnapping. He stopped yelling, asked for a report, then granted me an extra week.
Excellent. What did you learn from Interpol about the Banque du Lac?
It's had a bad reputation for over a century. Customers have included the mafia, Nazis, corporate swindlers of every description, even heads of state.
It is true, this. It is the worst kept secret in banking. They take advantage of the bank's strict policy of protecting the anonymity of its clients. This is in defiance of many laws from multiple countries, including Switzerland itself. Of course, I have never taken advantage of such a corrupt system.
That goes without saying, my friend.
There are ongoing investigations, subpoenas, court orders. The bank will eventually have to comply, or its assets may be seized. But until then, it still thrives, thanks to its wealthy and powerful clients.
It sounds perfect for the late Monsieur Ratchet. Do you have any ideas?
The serial numbers from some of the bills match those from the Armstrong kidnapping. We agreed in Venice that the bulk of the money must still be physically in the bank's vault.
I concur, Detective Locke. Exemplary work. So, our next task is clear. We need to get into Ratchet's safety deposit box.
There will be codes, passwords.
And Monsieur Wadi would, of course, have known them all. The bag of money he carried is proof of that.
We'll need to find information about Ratchet's box in Wadi's office at the bank.
Most assuredly, but remember the secrecy involved. I doubt his office will contain all we need. Where else must we dig? That was easy.
Mr. Wadi couldn't keep all of his secrets at the bank. Hopefully we'll find something in his apartment. We already have his address thanks to his passport, and his keys we retrieved from his body.
The train stops in Lausanne at 8 a.m. But that's far from Geneva. I can delay the departure until 11 a.m. No later. The police are expecting us in Paris by the end of the afternoon at the latest. They won't tolerate any delay.
The bank doesn't open until 9. I can see only one way that gives us a chance to be on time. Ferries travel between Lausanne and Geneva, but it would take over 3 hours. We can't depend on finding a faster boat. Better to take a taxi and pray traffic is light. The best thing is to separate. One of us searches his apartment, the other searches his office. To access the safety deposit box, we need to find the key, the box number, and the passcode.
Suppose you find all this. How do you plan to get into the vault?
We are going to use the bank's anonymity policy to our advantage.
And the quickest way is for you to impersonate Ratchet.
I would rather impersonate Jack the Ripper, but in the interest of justice, I will do it.
We need to find the account number.
Along with everything else.
I will say I want access to the vault. They don't ask for papers or even names. The vault information is enough.
I'm not hearing any of this. I run a train company. I don't rob banks.
Perfect. Let's recap the plan.
Voila.
To sum up, we're going by taxi to Geneva. Then we'll split up. You're going to search Mr. Wadi's apartment. I'll search the office at the bank. When we have all the information we need, you pretend to be Ratchet, and we can finally find out what Ratchet is keeping hidden in his safety deposit box.
It sounds impossible.
Not for Detective Joanna Locke and Hercule Poirot.
We should get some rest.
You are right, Detective. We face our greatest challenge tomorrow. Together.
Nine o'clock. Our driver did well. It took barely an hour to get here from Lausanne.
But we must conclude our business in 1 hour as well. Book can only hold the train until 11 o'clock.
1 hour to find the key of Ratchet's safety deposit box, the box number, and its passcode. A lot to ask.
Indeed, which is why we must split our forces. I will take the cab to Monsieur Wadi's address. You must search his office.
I have you on speed dial. And thank you, Mr. Poirot,
For what, mademoiselle?
for trusting me. You there. I have an appointment with Mr. Wadi.
Let me check. I'm sorry, I don't see any appointments this morning at all. Mr. Wadi hasn't even arrived yet. Although he should be here by now.
Even though your customers are anonymous, considering the amount of money involved, you should still have a mention of a meeting.
Yes, I can't understand it. I'll be sure to ask Mr. Wadi when he arrives. In the meantime, you are more than welcome to wait in his office. I'll see you're not disturbed. Please follow me. I can't understand where Mr. Wadi might be.
You're right. I don't have much time at all. It's closed. I'm taking a picture of it. I'll send it to Poirot. It might be useful to him. I need the password. Maybe Poirot can help me. Locked. A souvenir tower of Babel. Makes sense. We know that Mr. Wadi is from Iraq, and the ancient tower is said to have been built there. Alice in Wonderland, again. Mr. Wadi seems to have really liked this book. I managed to get into Wadi's office. I did a quick preliminary search. Everything is locked, including his computer. All I could find was a photo with a date on it. I just sent it to you. Maybe you can use it.
Thank you. That might help. I've just arrived at the apartment. I'll call you when I find something.
As quick as you can. I can't stay here long.
This is definitely not Monsieur Wadi's apartment. Ah, here we are. Let's see if the key I picked up in Monsieur Wadi's luggage in Venice will open his door. Great. The key to the password is close. I can feel it. A dart, a familiar projectile found in any pub in England. Ratchet's password. Here it is. My little gray cells did not let... Staring at the clock won't help, Poirot. This could be the password to Monsieur Wadi's office computer. He must change it every month. It seems to have a logical sequence, but I need to find the one for December. If that's the password to the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office, we still need to translate the Arabic characters. And there weren't any Arabic characters on the office computer's keyboard. I wonder if the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office has a similar Arabic keyboard. That's the right answer. This computer won't give up its secrets easily. A bizarre endgame to be sure, but I suspect checkmate is possible for white in 3 moves. Let's see.
Great.
Good. Adequate. My little gray cells did not let.
Who are you? What are you doing in there?
I am Hercule Poirot. I am working with the police. You are Monsieur Wadi's neighbor?
Yes, next door. I heard a noise. I thought it was Mr. Wadi who had come home. I don't know him very well. A delivery man left a package for him with me.
I see nothing to prove he's lying. I have no way to prove he's lying. He is lying, and I will prove it. You don't know your neighbor very well.
Yes, what of it?
How is it that Monsieur Wadi has a picture of you on his desk? There is quite a family resemblance. You wouldn't be his brother by any chance?
Why are you going through his things?
As I told you, I am working with the police.
All right, yes. I'm his brother, Mehdi Wadi. Do you know where he is?
I am very sorry, sir, but I have some terrible news for you. Your brother has been murdered. You have my sincere condolences.
Oh no. Aziz, my wife, my son, their hearts will break. Everything he did was for his family. He brought us here from Iraq to give my son a better future. We can't go back. You won't. You won't.
Do not fret, Monsieur Wadi. I do not want to cause trouble for you and your family. I am here to catch his murderer. When did you last see your brother?
2 days ago. He was on his way to Venice. It was not a journey he was looking forward to. I knew something was wrong, but he promised all would be well soon. My son will be heartbroken. Aziz made a point of reading to Fadi every night so he could learn English. We hope to legally emigrate there one day.
Your son, Fadi. What did Monsieur Wadi read to him?
His favorite book is Alice in Wonderland. The nonsense of it all. Why?
It is the answer to a question I had. I believe your brother was a good man, forced for some reason to keep secrets, and that got him killed.
Sir, there is something else. Aziz left me a letter to open if anything should happen to him.
Could you show it to me?
Yes, I will get it.
It all makes sense. It's horrific. But to Ratchet, it would be just business as usual. At least I have Ratchet's account number, 82664. Thank you for giving me this letter. Let me assure you, the man Ratchet cannot harm you. He was killed before your brother was.
Really? Who did it? The one you say hunted Ratchet?
Yes, without a doubt. I promise you I will find them.
Sir, we have no papers. The police...
Your secret is safe with me, monsieur.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, I must go to my wife and son. Tonight, I will read to Fadi from Alice in Wonderland, and we will remember my brother.
I need to notify Mademoiselle Locke that I have Ratchet's bank account number. I texted Ratchet's account number to you.
Wonderful.
I believe I have discovered Ratchet's safety deposit box passcode.
We're almost there. Locked. It's closed.
key. I wonder if it will fit the desk drawer. Those indentations are from the sheet of the notepad that was on top. This is great. All those mystery movies I watched as a kid. I know what to do. Those indentations are from the sheet of the notepad that was on top. This is great. All those mystery movies I watched as a kid. I know what to do. I'll send a picture of this to Poirot. I sent you a photo of doodles I found on a notepad. I hope it can help you.
I hope so as well. That may be useful to Mademoiselle Locke or me. I'll take a photo. Staring at the clock won't help. Wow. This keyboard should help me translate this code. Arabic is read from right to left, so the password must surely be read that way too. With any luck, this will unlock the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office. Let me text it to Miss Locke. Et voilà. Ah, the peculiar habit some people have of displaying things on the door of their refrigerator. I've just sent a photo to you in case it might help you.
Thank you.
Did you receive my text? This must be the password to Mr. Wadi's computer.
I have it. Thank you.
The number of Ratchet's safety deposit box. At last. I should let Mr. Poirot know.
I was able to access Mr. Wadi's computer. I have Ratchet's safety deposit box number.
Excellent. I think this belongs here. Mademoiselle Locke, how far along are you?
Still not very far, but I'm not giving up.
It's closed. I haven't finished what I had to do here yet. A gold mustache. Thank you very much.
Mr. Poirot, how are you doing?
I have little to report, but keep looking. It looks like a safe key to me. We finally found it. Good news. I have found the key to Ratchet's safe.
Perfect. We're running out of time. Do we have everything?
I have the key to the safety deposit box.
I have the number of the box.
And we have the passcode. I'm on my way. Time to rob a bank.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I haven't heard from Monsieur Wadi. You'll have to reschedule with him.
This is quite annoying. I'll have to reschedule.
Absolutely. I hope I have been of service.
You have no idea. That was fast. We do this as planned?
Yes, I am, Monsieur Ratchet. But with the bank's questionable policy, I do not expect anyone to ask.
Right. Absolute secrecy regarding their clients. The last Swiss bank of its kind.